Jamie was murdered last night outside of his home, just a few miles away from our studios. And we are the folks here breaking that news first because his family has been notified, and his good personal friends here that were very close to Jamie have talked to his folks and family. We sent some people over this morning when he didn't answer the phone, because he's always here early, loves to work, loves to fight tyranny, loves to promote freedom. And when they got to the apartment complex,
we live in a twilight world. Let's do another very quick recording, yeah? Here I am in my car, in the supermarket car park, as always. But this video that I just put at the front of this one, the one you just watched, yeah, this is being pushed everywhere on YouTube. Every time I come on YouTube, this video is being shown. Now, I'm not one for slagging off other human beings, as you all know. I think the worst thing anyone can do is gossip and bitch. The internet wants you to do that, right? The internet really is pushing you to be a narcissist. Yeah, it's monetized, commodified, capitalized on turning everyone into a narcissist. And the flip side of that is obviously slagging off other people. But I think, you know, it's fair. Even the fictional characters, like even slagging off fictional characters, I don't know, you're still partaking in shit talking, aren't you? But anyway, yeah, this video constantly being pushed. Who the fuck is Jamie White? I don't know. He's a writer, apparently, for Alex Jones. I mean, the fact this guy has writers now, he has a nice warm studio. Is he really a truth seeker anymore? Was he ever a truth seeker? I mean, his nickname is the American David Icke, yeah? The fact he's okay being called the American David Icke, the fact that everyone knows him as the American David Icke, you know, that would offend most people, but he seems to be okay with that. I mean, my guess is a long time ago, he saw what David Icke was doing and thought, yeah, I'm going to take this over to the USA and make it my own. And now he's very wealthy, right? But anyway, what do you see? Let's cut to it. Let's stop talking about the character of Alex Jones. What do you see here? Yeah, of course, once again, we have the double cross. Now, obviously, this cross in the middle is Twitter, yeah? He's obviously, for some reason, of all the social media platforms, he's deciding to put Twitter bang in the middle of his name, which thus makes the double cross, yeah? Now, as you all know, when it comes to the double cross, this is not the same thing as the Freemasons leaving their, deliberately putting their fingerprints over things to give you clues because they like playing some sort of mystery game with you, the observer. For me, the double cross, the XX, Tenant, the entities at the top of the pyramid, the puppet masters, yeah, their behavior, their actions always bleed through into our reality. That's why you can see these X's everywhere. It's not like it's zeros and ones like in the Matrix. Like if you squint your eyes, you see zeros and ones. It's more actually X's and X's and X's in general that make up the framework of this reality. Now, I don't know what this is. This gets far beyond, I think, the English language. This is very out there kind of woo-woo stuff that we don't really know how to talk about. But an example I use, and this is a very cheesy example, is if you remember the Ghostbusters films, yeah, the older ones that were actually quite entertaining, whenever a ghost would walk through a wall, they would leave like some sort of residue, yeah? Slime. They called it ectoplasm. And in this Ghostbusters universe, that's how they knew a ghost was around or had been there, right? They might not be able to catch the ghost in question, but you see from the ectoplasm that a ghost was here. Yeah? A ghost is like a phantom, but it leaves traces when it's like jumping through walls and stuff. I believe it's the same kind of thing when it comes to the XX. Yeah?
Come in, Ray.
Pinkman! I saw it!
It's right here, Ray. It's looking at me.
He's an ugly little spud, isn't he?
I think he can hear you, Ray.
Don't move. It won't hurt you. Pinkman! What happened? Are you okay?
He slimed me.
That's great! Actual physical contact!
So, ectoplasm, yeah, made up of two words. Ecto means outside. Plasm just means like a form. Something that's formed. So, you know, the idea being it's something from the outside world taking form in this world, yeah? So when I'm talking about ectoplasm in regards to seeing the double cross everywhere, I'm using it as a metaphor, but it's the same sort of thing, yeah? This comes from back in what, I don't know, the 19th century, like when people were really big into seances and communicating with the dead and ghost hunting and all this kind of stuff. Arthur Conan Doyle, the guy that wrote Sherlock Holmes, he was big into the ghost hunting and providing evidence. And I think don't quote me on this, but I think he might be behind the whole concept of ectoplasm. But anyway, yeah, that's a different topic for a different day. I'm digressing here. Back to Alex Jones and who the fuck is Jamie White. I've never heard of him. I've never really been a fan of Alex Jones. Never watched his content really. Only stuff I really remember watching about Alex Jones was back when the comedian Patrice O'Neill ended up on his show, because I'm a big fan of Patrice O'Neill, not so much Alex Jones. I think he's you know, the way he's kind of always like flailing his hands around and being very kind of dramatic. He's dramatizing everything, right? And this to me is all, I don't know, there's something very off about this stuff. But yeah, we've got the XX right there. And if we check out the old numerology, I mean, Russian Vids, shout out to Russian Vids, wherever he is now. I know like his channel gets shut down, seems like every other week. But Russian Vids has been pointing this out for years. Alex Jones is 33 in Pythagorean numerology, yeah? Here's the numbers for yourself. Take a screenshot. Add it up for yourself if you think this might be wrong. But also, if we check out who the fuck is Jamie White, that person you've never heard of who's now on the mainstream media has apparently been murdered. In Chaldean numerology, he is 33. Funny how we keep getting the 33s and the double crosses, right? To me, I still haven't quite worked out what 33 is. I think it's just, in terms of numerology, I just think it's the ultimate number for hypnosis. It's not that 33 is a bad or evil number. It's the intention you put behind it, yeah? So if your goal is to hypnotize the world, you know, it helps if you throw in a lot of 33s, right? You know, if your life path number equals 33, it doesn't make you a bad person. Yeah, it is what it is. And the way that numerology works is you got 1 to 9, and then you got 11, 22, and 33. Yeah. So there's 12 there that go around in a circle, just exactly like astrology. And it doesn't mean that like number 9 is somehow better than number 6. It doesn't work like that. Each one has its own characteristic. So if you're life path number 2, it doesn't mean you're somehow less than a person who's life number 33. It doesn't work like that, yeah. Yeah. mathematics is a big part of this, of this reality. When Pythagoras said, the world is built upon numbers and numbers rule the universe, he weren't fucking around, yeah? But just looking at this is like the famous picture you always see of Pythagoras, like, was he even a real person? I don't fucking know. Did he really look like this? Probably not. But this is the picture I keep seeing everywhere. If you went to Google and Google search Pythagoras, this is the picture that come up. But even in this picture, I can see like a double cross. Technically there's a cross there and then there's a cross there, right? So once again, a double cross always bleeding through. Even in illustrations of, prominent figures throughout time and history. And just to be clear, yeah, while we're on the topic of numbers, numerology, yes, this is really helpful. The keys to the universe are within the numbers, like Pythagoras said. Numerology is really good. Yeah, gematria is shit. Stay away from gematria. I think the whole point of gematria is to make numerology look stupid. Yeah, and it's just such a it's a bit of a joke, gematria, because basically what these gematria guys are doing is they keep changing what they call the cipher. So they're constantly rearranging the numbers and letters to make their bullshit fit. So they'll say stupid things like, yeah, Bill Gates equals 201, the Vatican equals 201, the lockdown equals 201. 201 doesn't mean anything, yeah? And what they're doing is they're jumping between English gematria, Jewish gematria, Pythagorean, this, reverse, and they keep changing it, but they're not telling you that they're changing it. So they're making it look like it all fits, right? So the gematria guys are kind of grifters. I would stay away from them. They're, they're conning people basically by making it look like the numbers fit when they don't, yeah? If you're using 4 different ciphers, that means every time you get it right once, you're only getting it right 1 out of 4 times. So at best, they're getting it 25% right, which is not very good. With numerology, you've got 2. You've got Pythagorean or Chaldean, and that's it. You've got 1 to 9 and 1 to 8. Yeah? You can't just manipulate it so that your book you're trying to sell on Amazon looks like it's the answers when it isn't. Yeah? So, yeah. Numerology, yes. Gematria is a joke. So back to the main topic, yeah. Alex Jones and that guy you've never heard of who's now apparently been murdered and is all over the mainstream media, Is old Jonesy a fictional character? I mean, a lot of people are saying that he's been switched out, right, because he's now slimmer. He's on the Ozempic or whatever the fuck he's doing. They're saying this is a different version of Alex Jones, and there are many versions of Alex Jones. Yeah, man. I don't really pay much attention to him, so I don't really know. I don't know what he used to look like. I'm assuming he was a lot fatter. Probably had more hair and so on. The big question, does Alex Jones work for the double cross? Well, the answer is, yeah. Here's the thing, guys. We all work for the double cross system. You work for the double cross system. I work for the double cross system. So, of course, Alex Jones works for the double cross system. The thing about the double cross system is it's clandestine. It's a cult. It's hidden. Nobody knows they're working for the double cross system. Yeah? Does that make sense? So old Alex Jones there, let's for argument's sake, say he's a real person. He probably thinks he's working for the freedom fighters or whatever. Or maybe he is a shill and he's got a CIA handler. But the CIA ultimately is under the control, if we go up the pyramid, to the top of the double cross system. But they don't know that. The CIA don't know they are getting puppeteered by the double cross system. Alex Jones doesn't know he's getting puppeteered by the double cross system. Most of you at home don't know you're getting puppeteered by the double cross system. Yeah? You know, even if you just turn up to a regular normie job and you're part of the system, you know, doing your 9 to 5, paying your taxes, a mortgage, you're part of the double cross system, aren't you? You know, the fact you have some sort of TV and you're watching this video, yeah, so you've either got a TV as in like a smartphone or a laptop or a tablet, yeah, these different versions of a TV, a television. The fact you purchase a TV and you're letting these ideas and thoughts, even though it's me talking, you're still a part of the double cross system, right? The only person that's not a part of the double cross system is probably some guy or that tribe that lives in the middle of the Amazon rainforest who has no electricity, who are just trying to mind their own fucking business. But they're slowly getting dwindled away, aren't they? Because the Amazon forest is getting annihilated, right? But all of it, you know, all from paying a taxes to being like the highest level propagandist or conspiracy theorist like Alex Jones, you know, you're part of the system, right? And what we're talking about basically is the most ancient form of divide and rule. But, you know, even like bread and circus, divide and rule, this all comes under the umbrella of the double cross system, yeah? And it's all about feeding you a version of reality that you then believe in. Or, if we flip that round, another way of describing it would be you have a belief system and the double cross system will continuously give you the chicken feed to carry on pecking on that upholds your belief system. That's why, in my opinion, it's ridiculous to argue with anyone, because especially now that the internet is so, like, the internet is now the datum point of people's reality, yeah? When I say datum point, I mean like the 0 point that people work from. I know the term datum point from back in my construction worker days, yeah? When you're building houses or flats or whatever, a leisure centre, there'll be a datum point, a line drawn somewhere, and you're meant to work off that. Everyone is meant to work off that datum point.